This is a need that you cannot ignore. My name is Stephen Ouellette. I am a campus minister at Fitchburg State University in Massachusetts. I started pursuing the person of Jesus and Christian community when I was 14 years old, after having kind of a significant and unusual spiritual experience in the summer before my freshman year of high school. The experience was a really intense supernatural experience. It was like a demonic possession kind of experience that kind of launched me into a season of life where I sought out the truth. I just never looked back. After graduating high school, I stayed at home and enrolled at Fitchburg State as a commuter. I didn't have a major. I had no vision from my college experience. So after 3 semesters, I found myself really floundering and just at a loss for vision and purpose in my education. A family friend of mine that went to the same church as me had just come back from Southern California after going through a 2-semester-long discipleship program. She was catching up with me and just really excited about the experience that she had. She really strongly encouraged me to take some time off and try this program that she had just gone through. So I did. I withdrew from my classes and started planning to move out to California for a year to do this program. And it was really a life-changing experience for me. If I had to pinpoint a time in my life where I felt like I guess like people like to say, received a call to ministry, it was that season. I had a fascination with language. I was really interested in East Asia. I discovered this fascination with China. I studied linguistics and Chinese, and because they didn't have a full Chinese program, I had to study abroad in China. So I spent 6 months in China in 2014, and that time was amazing. It was really hard work. It was exhausting, but my language ability and my cultural awareness took off, and I discovered that I really wanted to go to China for a while. We moved to China, and we lived there as university English teachers for 4 years. Our first daughter was born in China, 2019. We take her home for Christmas of 2019. We're home in Massachusetts for about a month, and then we fly back to China. And on our way to the airport, the United States International Travel Advisory goes from a level 1 to a level 2. When we land in Beijing, a little more than 24 hours later, the advisory went from a level 2 to a level 3. And then 48 hours later, the advisory had gone to the highest level, a level 4. We decided to wait in Southeast Asia for 5 months with the hope of going back into China. We had just spent the last 3 years building a home for ourselves. After 5 months, visas got complicated, so we came back to North America. We encountered some family circumstances that we really felt like God was saying, as James writes in his epistle, this is true religion, a religion to the orphan and to the widow. This is a need that you cannot ignore. So we resigned from our jobs and started making changes to figure out how we could reorient our lives away from something that we were really hoping to commit our lives to and kind of fell in love with, into something that we knew we needed to do. Felt like God uprooted us and just moved us and put us down, and we had no idea why we were there. After about a year, my wife was visiting my now teammate. They've been friends for a really long time. My wife comes back from that visit and says, Fitchburg State really needs new campus ministry staff. I know in the past, because we felt like God was bringing us overseas, that we declined the offer or the opportunity to maybe work with campus ministry, with campus ambassadors, maybe now's the time. So I just went for it, and the doors just flew wide open. Fitchburg State is an old teaching college that in recent decades has expanded into a full university with a wide variety of opportunities for majors in different realms of study. There are about 2,500 undergraduates at Fitchburg State. About half of them are campus residents and half of them are commuters. A lot of the ones that we meet are students that might be first generation born in the United States. Their parents might have been immigrants. A lot of students we meet, they're the first ones in their family going to college. One of the primary ways that I feel like my experience and skill set and just personal fascinations have lent to my ability to be a good campus minister at Fitchburg State is that I have this fascination with culture and diversity and hearing other people's stories. And I do encounter a pretty good variety of different types of people on campus, different ethnic diversities, different religious diversities, different family backgrounds and histories, different levels of mental health struggle, mental health awareness, so on and so forth. And I just love the opportunity to sit down with a student, no matter what walk of life they come from, and just hear their story, hear where they're coming from, hear what their struggles are, hear what their family's like, hear what their dreams are for their major. I've had opportunities to sit down with Indian students, with pagan students, with Wiccan students, with Muslims, with, of course, lots of Christians, from a wide variety, a wide spectrum of faith streams, from high church, traditional, all the way down to low church, from Catholic and Orthodox to Pentecostal and charismatic. It's really been fascinating to just see them come together and see the beauty of the diversity of God's creation in humanity, but also the beauty of diversity in the body of Christ and how we experience things differently, yet we can come together on the commonality of Jesus and fellowship with one another and learn from one another. Campus ministry in general, I believe, is a critical piece to missions as a whole at this point in history. There is so much opportunity for conversation. There's so much opportunity for gospel presentation. There's so much opportunity for developing community, a place for Christians to come and connect with one another, to be involved in mutual peer-to-peer discipleship. The uniqueness that I see as I consider other campus ministries is that we are committed to incarnational ministry. And that means that we're not just coming on campus to train leaders and to mobilize them, but we're coming on campus full-time, day in and day out, to be with the students, to spend time in the student centers, to play games with them on the quad, to facilitate Bible studies, to encourage the students that we're working with to facilitate their own Bible studies and start their own activities in which they then invite their friends into, and just create experiences where people can learn that they can trust a Christian. If you'd like to connect with us personally and you're in the area, if you'd like to support us in any way, feel free to go to the Missions Door page, check out our missionary profile, and reach out. We'd love to hear from you.